Hi, my name is Emily. Some people know me as Emmy, and I wanted to talk about something personal. So, over the weekend, I was in hospital. I had called 111 on Friday night, Saturday morning, and they decided I need to go to hospital because I attempted to take my own life. I attempted to overdose twice, and I needed serious medical attention just to be sure that I hadn't damaged any of my organs and that I would recover. I was in hospital for close to 30 hours. No sleep. It was incredibly draining being on an IV drip for like 6 hours. 4 of those hours being potassium, which, if you've ever had it burns like a bitch, doesn't it? With all these uncomfortable ass stickers all over my body. Like these were a bitch to take off. You can see the sticker residue on my collarbone there. The other ones, these weren't as bad. These came off pretty easily. But these motherfuckers, oh god. But yeah, I attempted to take my own life. And being sat in the waiting room, I was in the waiting room for a total of probably 8 to 9 hours of my total stay. Probably longer, but I can't actually remember because it was such a long process. And so 6 hours I was on IV drip. I was in the waiting room. I got to hospital. I got in about 5:30 in the morning on Saturday. I got seen just before 10 o'clock and I was in a room by about 10:30. I remember just laying there on the drip, just couldn't sleep. I had time to process my thoughts. I talked to multiple nurses and they asked me, why did I do it? Then I told them why, and when I told them why, I felt stupid. And I felt like that was not worth it. The pain and the suffering I had caused myself was not fucking worth it. Me trying to take my life in the dumbest way possible, well, the dumbest ways, that is the paramedics that said that. I tried to overdose on ibuprofen first. Failed. Didn't feel anything from it. I did go drinking the next day, which did not help. And then on Thursday night, I attempted with paracetamol. I took way too much, and theoretically it should have killed me, because the lethal dose and stuff, but it didn't. And I'm glad it didn't. I'm alive. And all that time waiting to see someone, I was on my own for almost the entirety of it. Yeah, I was talking to friends, I was messaging people, but I was on my own. I had time to reflect and to think. And I'm glad I did. Because it was not worth it. Passing out after taking fucking 34 paracetamol and throwing up constantly, going to sleep, going back to work, throwing up at work, going home, sleeping, waking up, throwing up, and just finally deciding to get medical attention. I realised that stuff like that isn't worth it. The self-destructive routes are never worth it. The pain and the suffering it causes yourself, and then it causes the people around you. It's not worth it. I'm currently in slight pain. I have really bad pain in my left abdomen from my stomach. Most likely it's from the throwing up. I don't know though. The drug they gave to help me with the pain, I don't know what it was meant to do because it did fuck all. But The nurses were doing their best. They looked after me. They made sure I had what I need. My heart rate went to fucking 102 because I ate a cheese sandwich. I was that happy to eat decent food. And the entire time I was thinking, why did I do it? Why couldn't I have just sat and talked to someone instead of buying a bunch of painkillers and trying to take them all? Because originally I was gonna take 4 full boxes, which is 16 inch, so 64. That 100% would have caused me probably lifelong injuries. But I didn't. I passed out before I could. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad that when I felt regret for what I did, I got help. I wish that I got help before I did it. But I'm alive. I was sat in the waiting room talking to my friends, being like, I don't want to die anymore. I have been stuck in here for hours. I have not seen daylight. I have not smelled fresh air in hours. I have not been near a window. I have not seen the outside world in over 27 hours. I think when I got discharged, it was about 9:10, and I got there 5:30 on Saturday morning. So I was in there for 29 hours. I got lucky. Some people were in there for 40 hours. And I didn't go outside once. I couldn't. I remember just walking around because I needed a walk. Being like, I'm so happy to see clouds. Because if things were worse, I would have still been in hospital. They wouldn't have allowed me to be discharged. I got myself discharged because I didn't want to wait any longer. I felt like sitting was going to deteriorate my mental health worse. And I needed rest. I needed to come home. I'm glad I did. Come home. I was craving pizza the entire time I was in hospital. And holy shit. Eating that pizza has made me appreciate life a shit ton. And I know this is really fucking personal, but it's not the answer. Suicide isn't the answer. I know. The self-harm, physically, mentally, emotionally, it's not worth it. No matter what it is, no matter how low you feel, how much you feel like your life is not your own, and how you feel like people controlling your life, people are trying to destroy your life, it's not worth it. And I feel happy. I feel so different now. Ever since being in the hospital, I felt so different. I was told by my friends because I was manic, because I've been awake for so long. Because I had a little nap on the Friday, woke up about 10 p.m. So 10 p.m. Friday, 9 a.m. Sunday. Yeah, no, that was not a good time. But now that I've slept, I actually feel like a new person. I've not felt like this in months. I've not felt like I can just go out, just have fun for the sake of having fun, and just wear what I want, run around, don't need to impress people. I can just be me. I can talk about my interests I cannot feel ashamed of who I am. And I'm so fucking happy. And all of this came because I was so unhappy. I tried taking my own life twice. But seeing how people cared and how, like, stupid I was for it, hearing myself talk about the reason why I tried to end my own life, it made me realise that life isn't just that. Life isn't just a fucking breakup. You can't just hide away from things. You can't just decide to kill yourself because everything goes wrong. I know that feels weird saying. I know a lot of people feel like it is the only answer. Because that's what I thought. I thought that no matter what I did, my life was going to be destroyed. My life was completely out of my hands. And now it's not. It is in my hands. It is my fucking life. And I'm so fucking glad. I am alive today. And I've never been more grateful to be alive. I know I've been crying a lot. This is really rambling. But if you ever feel low, I know it's time consuming. But do try and get help. Because when you're stuck in the hospital room for hours on end, with no sleep, with constant beeping, with a catheter in your arm, holy shit, that's bruised nice. I've been asleep for like a shit ton of hours. I have not looked at my arm once. Where you're covered in these very fucking sticky, annoying ass, uncomfortable stickers. When you're hooked up to machines, where you're being injected with so much shit. I had an injection in my stomach. In my tummy. Holy shit, that hurt. When you're being flushed potassium, because your potassium levels are so low because you tried to take a shit ton of paracetamol. The burn. The constant 4-hour burn that just progressively gets worse. Not worth it. Just the suffering in hospital is a lot worse than you think. Save yourself that. Don't think because everything is shit. Life went to shit. Everything's on the downward spiral. That ending it all is the answer. Because everything will come back up. Life is a cycle. People come, people go. Happiness comes, happiness goes. But it always comes back. And don't let anyone try and tell you otherwise. If people try and tell you otherwise, cut them the fuck out. Because they don't deserve you. You don't need them. They're just trying to tear you down. Surround yourself with people who genuinely fucking care. People who would happily drive up in the middle of the night to come see you. People who be there when you need them. No matter what. Those are the people you surround yourself with. Not the toxic ass bitches who are like, oh, like, telling you, like, making you feel bad. Like, regretful. Like, oh, why did you ever do this? Why did you ever do that? Real friends will actually call you out on your, like, mistakes. But they won't make you feel awful. They're understanding. They're like, yeah, you did something silly. But you need to know that it doesn't define you. And that you need to move on. You need to work on yourself. Because at the end of the day, your life is your own. And I've been rambling a lot, and I probably should just get back to doing some stuff to keep myself occupied. But remember this. You're worth it. You deserve everything you want in life. and that ending your life is not the option. And I know that time can be tough. But when you're sat and looking at all the drugs you want to take, and you finally feel like this is it, think about the pain you'll be in when you wake up. The pain you'll be sat in hospital. Because it won't kill you straight away. The decline of your health might. The paramedic said that if I do it again, I might be dead in 30 years. But, like, the pain is temporary. The emotional decline is temporary. And you don't want to be in a hospital being pushed fluids. My parents don't know I attempted. And I don't want them to know. I had to give them a bullshit reason before they came to the hospital to see me about my wishes, against my wishes. But I'm alive. I was sat in my fucking bathroom for hours on Friday. Crying, throwing up. Same with Thursday. I was crying, throwing up. And when I called 111, I went through the mental health crisis team. They're really good, they're really supportive, and I highly recommend that. If you're in the UK, if you ever feel like you're in a crisis and you want to take your own life, call 111. They're very quick to get to you, and they will talk you through everything you need, and they will help. But they told me to call the physical symptoms side of 111, explain the situation. So I did. I did a hospital because they thought I needed medical attention. Because I was throwing up, because I felt awful, because I had pain, I needed to see someone. And I'm glad they sent me. And also, if you go to hospital and you're waiting for ages, you will hate the clothes you're wearing. Go in something comfortable, but they said not to bring a bag, and I was gonna bring spare clothes. Holy shit, I should have brought spare clothes. I was sitting in my pajamas, not these pajamas, these are newer. And I was sitting in them from literally when I got home after work on Friday, being sent home, to fucking this morning when I got back from a hospital. And you will notice you start to feel gross. And it's not pleasant. Bring comfy shit. Bring distractions. Because it's going to be a long wait. And it's going to hurt. Badly. Save yourself that fucking suffering. And talk to someone. Get referred for your GP. Get referred for a doctor. Go through your school. So if you're under 18, your parents will be informed. Go through university healthcare. If your job place has a mental health team, go through them. Because talking to someone might be scary. But when you're waiting in A&E for a doctor for hours and you feel like you're going to start deteriorating again, but you don't know how long you're going to wait, that's scary. Because you don't know when your next meal's going to be. You don't know what you can drink. You don't know if someone's going to die near you. Save yourself that fear. Save yourself that trouble. Because once you start talking to someone, things get easier. Sorry for this long ramble, but I feel like it needs to be shared.